Hello everyone, welcome to the Reaching Out channel. I'm just coming to you today because there's been an interesting update here in the UK this week. The Charity Commission of the UK have just won a legal battle against Watchtower that has been running since 2014. In this country, each congregation is a registered charity, and there are rules and regulations governing what charities can and cannot do. And it's the Charity Commission, which is part of the government. It's their responsibility if there's any cause for alarm. Well, we know there's a lot of cause for alarm with Watchtower, isn't there? So it's been wonderful that the Charity Commission have noticed this and have set about doing an inquiry. But the Watchtower have been fighting it tooth and nail. So since 2014, the Charity Commission have been asking of Watchtower in England to turn over their records in respect of their child safeguarding policy. And the Watchtower have taken it through the courts for the past 2 years. It finally reached the Court of Appeal this week, and the Watchtower lost. The Charity Commission have been given the powers to continue in their inquiry. So why have they been fighting it? I don't understand. In the case of a child safeguarding policy, why would you not want to cooperate with an inquiry? Surely the children must come first, but as we know, that's not how the Watchtower sees things at all. So my question would be, what have they got to hide? Why have they spent 2 years going through the courts? Why have they been uncooperative? Why are they not cooperating when it's children that are at the heart of the issue? And I think that's because they know that they're going to be exposed. If I was Watchtower, I would be saying, well, our child safeguarding policy has been under question for many years, so here's our opportunity to show to the world we have the best child safeguarding policy. We have something to be proud of. It's robust, it's thorough. Let's cooperate with the Charity Commission. It'll get us brilliant PR. It'll be a big shout of praise to Jehovah. But we know the truth, don't we? We know the truth that actually the Jehovah's Witnesses have a very poor child safeguarding policy, a very poor record of looking after children. And the background to this case was the New Moston, Manchester Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. If you look it up, it was all over the news on the BBC. And this elder was convicted for child abuse, and yet at the court case, everyone who turned out from the congregation came not to support the victim, no, to support the elder, who was then convicted and jailed. He still hasn't been disfellowshipped, which is outrageous. And it came to light that the abuse victims had been forced to confront their alleged abuser. Well, as we know, that is standard procedure for Jehovah's Witnesses. You are always required to confront your abuser, and there are no exceptions to this rule, even if it means you are a minor having to confront somebody who has perpetrated the most dreadful crimes against you. And so that's why it's so easy for these things to be covered up, because for the first thing that you have to do is to be brought into a room of men for a judicial committee, and immediately the spotlight is on you as the accuser, even if you are a child, which is just fundamentally wrong. and it's something that forced me to leave the Jehovah's Witnesses as a mother of young children. That is just a dreadful, dreadful state of affairs. I have spoken to the lead inquirer at the Charity Commission. He's a very nice gentleman called Jonathan Sanders, and I would urge anybody out there who has left the Jehovah's Witness organisation, even if you weren't a victim of child abuse. I am not a victim of child abuse. However, I know the culture of Jehovah's Witnesses, which is to cover everything up, keep it quiet, it's confidential. And there's also the stigma of bringing reproach on Jehovah's name, and that's code, that's Jehovah's Witness language for don't do anything to put the organisation in a bad light, even if that means protecting a child abuser, which is just so incredibly wrong. So I spoke to Mr. Sanders about the culture within Jehovah's Witnesses, and I told him about a family I knew about who had one of their family members had been a victim of child abuse, and in the end they'd relocated to escape it. And I'm sure that situation is replicated up and down the UK of you're told it's going to be handled internally. We're told as Jehovah's Witnesses to have a deep distrust of authority because the authorities are in the control of Satan, the devil. So don't trust the police, don't trust anybody in authority. We will handle it, but that never happens. It never gets handled. And so you're seeing cases coming out now you'll find there's a child abuse victim who thinks that they're the only one, but when it comes to court it turns out that they might be in a long line of abuse victims who never knew about each other because it's all been kept confidential. And if there are any repercussions against a member of the congregation, the details are never revealed. So if somebody is disfellowshipped from a congregation and put out into the community, they could well be a child abuser, but nobody is ever going to know because the elders don't report it to the police, the victims don't report it to the police, and so you'll have the case where a former Jehovah's Witness is now continuing his crimes in the community, but the Jehovah's Witnesses have washed their hands of it. It's got nothing to do with us. Our consciences are clean. So it's an area of deep concern. Another thing as a Jehovah's Witness that I would be concerned about is we used to regularly have talks about donation giving. Give us your money. I remember we had a circuit overseers visit and half of the meeting we had an overhead projector showing us the donation website, which I was horrified. I thought, we've got the circuit overseer here to give us spiritual encouragement, and instead we're having a presentation on how to use a donation website, which I just thought was appalling, and telling us don't forget to include the organisation in your will so that when you pass away your inheritance goes to the society. Well, we know now why they need your money, because they're having to pay these massive legal bills. You know, this doesn't come for free. Fighting for 2 years, the Charity Commission, that'll have given them a very hefty legal bill. And every time they fight these child abuse allegations, again, it's creating a massive legal bill. So I would be very concerned. A long time ago, they got rid of the designated boxes for specific funds and just turned it into one big general donations pot. So you put your money in and have no clue where that money is being used. They give you these lovely fluffy tales about how you're helping flood victims in some foreign land, but actually I think you're probably paying a legal bill, which is pretty demoralising when the majority of Jehovah's Witnesses are poorly paid people who are just scraping a living and do not have a lot of spare cash. So that would be another cause for alarm. So watch this space. Well done to the Charity Commission. Keep up the good work. I think the case is much bigger than anything they'd anticipated. You know, they thought they were just investigating an isolated incident in Manchester. I think this has opened their eyes to find out that actually, no, this is just standard practice across the whole of the UK and across the whole of the globe. So, you know, maybe the Charity Commission may need extra powers to force through a change. We'll have to wait and see. But what I am gladdened about is that this isn't a gutter newspaper investigation. It's not some shady expose on the TV like we've had in the past, where all the Jehovah's Witnesses go, oh, it's just, you know, we're being victimised. It can't possibly be true. You can't possibly believe it. Well, not this time, guys. This is the Charity Commission. This is part of the government. This is all completely above board. So watch out. But above all, put your children first. You should have a child safeguarding policy to be proud of. Here's your chance. Please cooperate with the Charity Commission. We look forward to hearing more. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.